All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another special Black Desert video. So, as we all know, in the past few months, the market has been shifting. All the prices have been going down for basically everything. And I know this happens whenever new expansions or new items come out in the game. It's just in every MMO, it is what it is. Your old gear gets more or less devalued when new things come out. But as the sovereign weapons came out, weapons dropped, Debarekas have dropped as well. It's a bunch of various factors that make the market crash and everything. So what I wanted to do actually was basically just see how much in terms of silver my items got devalued. And I'm not so much saying that like I'm super upset about it. Like it's just progression in the game. It is what it is. But I just wanted to see a visual value of how much I had before. So let me actually just put on some stuff and then hold on, let me just set this to actually do something while I'm doing math. Hold on, let me see. What do we process this? Okay, cool. Okay, so this is essentially my gear now, and you know, 20 fails on pen doesn't feel good, that's for sure. So anyway, this is what I have, and I could tell you how much I spent, more or less roughly what I made it for and or bought it for. So let's get the calculator out. We're going to actually just look at the market and then see what it's all about. So how can I value all of these things? We could take the max price. I don't really know, but we'll look at everything. Okay, so first and foremost, let's just go full circle. Let's look at the weapons first. Let's see. For these, I had a pen black star. I actually made one of each, and then they gave you the free ones that we had. So, let's just say a black star. A pen black star, when I made it, was probably around like 160 to 180 billion. Obviously that tanked. So I guess an average, let's just say 90 billion silver, right? So that's how much it went down since I made it. It's wild. And then let's look at the awakening weapon. I guess they're all the same, so it doesn't really matter as much. But awakening weapons have always been slightly higher than the main hand weapon, and it's kind of even nowadays. You guys remember this drop? And then this happened when they gave us all a free pen black star, and then I think they gave us all a free tap black star, so people like one tapped those and got another free pen. So that was around this time. And then recently sovereign weapons came out, and then people are buying their second one to make the sovereign weapons, right? So that's where the price increase has gone. So from about 100 right now, I think when I made mine, it was around like also 180, 160, around that range. So let's just say another 70. That's about 160 bill loss just on the weapons, but I don't know. It's a little bit different. If we wanted to calculate more loss in terms of enhancing, that's different. But we're just taking the marketplace value as of right now. And so, yeah, I guess let's go clockwise. Debareka belt. So as we all know, Debareka belts a few months ago were basically hard cap 300, and then ever since people are realizing that those Jay's hammers are expiring, they're just like slamming it, and or you know, everyone just has silver these days. So I guess when I made all of mine, the cap was like 300 and they were sitting on orders, and now they just went down. So we'll just take the price of this one now. One sold for 187 2 hours ago. Holy dude. First of all, if you're trying to sell your Devo, like, try to get as much out of it. Why would you sell it for minimum? I get that people need silver, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure if you wait just like a few hours, you can probably get an additional 30 bill out of it, minus tax or whatever. But anyway, let's just say the average is 200 to make numbers easier. And then when I made mine, it was 300. So let's just add another 100 minus 260 billion. Wild. I guess we can count artifacts, but it's like right now there's actually new artifacts. Artifacts are where are artifact? Okay. So there's actually a new one. I want to make another video talking about like the numbers on all of this one, but I still think the Kabua for PvE is just overall the best one. And then for PvP, it's one of the other two. So different things, different uses. But remember when these came out and everyone was grinding them? These were maxed out at 10 bill each, and now they're half. So we'll just add another 10 bill. So like 5 bill times 2. That's how much they've gone down in price. A Deboreka earring. This one, I believe, is actually the lowest of all the Deborah pieces. Holy dude, that's so bad. I always knew that Debo earrings, if they were to go sit in the market, these would be the first ones, because earrings are the biggest flex spots that people change out for PvP or PvE, and some people just go straight damage with double distos. That's cool too. And 5 piece, you have to use 1 earring. So yeah, so when I made it, and it was 300, so let's just say 140, so that's another 160 added. That's a lot, actually. And then a distortion earring. So I got this over a year ago, my pen, and I still remember when I bought it. I do have a video of it, and it was like 160 billion. Do I think these are still worth getting? Yeah, absolutely. You still should get one of them, and your other second slot should be a Debo earring, assuming you are going 5 route. So that's about 100 bill from when I bought it. That's wild. I still do think these are really good, but a lot of people have always asked me, when is a good time to switch to distortions, because you do lose -4, -5 DP based on like the level you get. And I think roughly around like 330, 340 DP is when you could start tanking a little bit of DP for the AP upgrade. And so I guess whenever you can grind like Elvia spots, and maybe yeah, like Elvia Oryx is a good entry point, and then you can see how well it goes from there. So that's roughly my guess of when things are happening. Ator shoes. Let's see. I don't exactly know the real value of this one, simply because like all the pieces I'm self-made, but I got basically all of them to Tet within like the first week or so. And so you guys remember when they first came out, they were probably around like 250, close to that billion. But it's hard to put a value on this one, because I just, over time, things just weird. And I never really paid attention to this one. But if I were to guess how much I spent on this one, it was probably around like 200-ish billion. Just like, I just was not lucky on try to Tet chroning it, and you guys watch those videos. So I don't really know how to put an accurate value on this one, but I guess from now, like, we'll just take the market value at 137 and say I spent 200 on it. So let's just add another 60 to that one. 590. Labreska helmet. Once again, these are also kind of like, I think you should be able to make these, let's say you are self-enhancing all your gear, right? And let's say you have, I don't know, a pry or something, and you want to get it to tet. Even nowadays, I think most people can self-enhance it all the way to tet cheaper than buying it off the market, like on average, that is. So at 140, I'm actually kind of surprised this one has a slightly higher value. Let's see. I don't really know how to value it, so obviously it went down in price from a few months ago. These were, let's see, 3 months ago, these were 180-ish, more or less. Now they're 140. I guess if we take the 200 billion average, and then let's just add like a 60 to that one. This one is kind of give or take the weapons and armors, because I don't actually remember how much I spent. So let's just add another 60. And then same with the Fallen God. We'll just look at the price anyway. I always expected this one to be the lowest of all of them, but not like, you know, one between the 130 and 140 range. I expected this one to be like 110 or something way lower. So let's just add another 50 billion from when I enhanced it. The armors are a little bit off because I just have no idea. I still have tet devos because I've been lazy and just haven't felt like grinding out the rings to make it myself yet. So I can actually just give you a number because I actually remember doing this one too. So even though I have tet, I still spent, you know, a couple months ago, these were around like 70-80 billion. So you can actually look at these prices. I made one myself, but the second one I bought because I just downgraded it to pry from tet, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna save up money and buy it again. Was that a smart idea? I have no idea. But anyway, so let's say I spent like 80 billion on mine, and then now it's at 40-ish. So that's another 40 value loss. We calculated that earlier. And Dawn Gloves. I actually think these would be cheaper because these are the easiest one to make, assuming you have done the Morning Light questline. So I think I was just straight up average on this one. So average, I mean, in terms of how much I made, probably spent about I don't know, let's just say the 200 value. And then, so we'll just look at it from there. So before it was at 170. Let's just say it's minus like 30 or something. I don't think I was too far off on this one. It went by kind of smoothly, actually. And then the Deboreka necklace. So basically all the Deberekas, if you had at pen, would be at 300 because that's when you got it. And then nowadays they're not. So people are selling it for that one. Listen, if you guys are selling pen devos, just try to list it for the max. And then if there's only one, someone's going to buy it realistically. So you're going to try to do at least get the extra 10 mil that's going to be lost to taxes anyway. So just get as much as you can. So that's about 110 bonus. Holy, actually. I don't think Vels have changed. I think those are still max price. Let's just look at that. Yeah, Vels are still max price anyway. I still do think they should raise the price of this because you know how it only spawns, what, like 2, maybe 3 times a week? No, I think it's only 2, right? And there's still orders. I think a good price for Vels nowadays, because more people are making more silver and everything, I think probably 25 to 30 bill is a good permanent hard cap from there. So right now we are sitting at minus 880 billion silver just from like my value lost over time, not even me doing anything. I have a Nuver, which I haven't really PvP'd much in a long time, actually. We also have the pen ornamental knot, so we're gonna have to take a look at that one. Okay, so we have a pen ornamental knot. When I bought mine, it was 165. I remember that one, and then now it's at 93. So that's like 65-ish from time value loss. And maneuver, I actually don't know. I got maneuver so long ago, and I actually made it myself, but that was also when, I don't know, that was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I still remember that video that I made a montage of multiple years ago. So back in the day, these were like 20 billion, but maneuver kind of fell off. So let's just add another 10 billion to time loss. Okay, well, so I guess that's all of them in terms of how much silver have I lost over time, just because new gear came out, new weapons came out, so your old ones kind of get devalued. So yeah, 950-ish billion. We could probably give or take maybe another 50 downwards, so like 900 billion, because I don't accurately know my armors that I've made in terms of value. So we could just say between like 900 billion to 950 where it's at. And it's kind of wild to think about. Like, all of this was always expected to go down. I knew it was going to happen. But I didn't really think that Devarekas were going to be going from max price down to like 200 billion, even lower in 3 months, actually. I could probably guess what caused it. Like, you know, sovereign weapons and coming out when they gave everyone free Tet and Pen Black Stars. That obviously doesn't help the economy either. What other things have they done to tank the economy? Actually, Jay's Hammer of Precisions. How much longer do we have on these? I remember on day one, people always told me, oh, these are gonna sell out at whatever max price of, what was it, like, was it 100 bill or something, or 50 or something like that? Either way, I've always told people these are going to sit at minimum, or it's not worth buying it at maximum anyway. And here we are. Ever since day one, they're sitting even still. So yeah, I think if you are still holding on to yours, expecting yours to sell, well, you got about 2 more months of hoping it sells. Otherwise, the best thing to click it on is probably, in my opinion, probably clicking it on a Devo neck, simply because if you're using it, it's going to give you the most AP value. Each tier up gives you +5 AP instead of +3 on other ones. And in terms of value, it's probably either the belt or necklace in terms of if you're just selling it for a profit or something. But yeah, if you're planning on using it, it's probably going to be necklace for the most value. So yeah, that didn't help. As cool as it is for them to give out like free upgrades to people, it wasn't me actually. Mine just failed on day one, and I have a video of that too. But here's my stance on catch-up mechanics in video games. So I've played a lot of MMOs. Whenever new stuff comes out and your old gear gets devalued, I understand that. It happens. It is what it is. But it's like, I also think and I approve of catch-up mechanics in video games, because you know what happens if you have all this gear but no one's playing the game and the game is dead? Your gear means nothing. So yeah, I actually am for catch-up mechanics in video games. I don't want people to go through what I had to go through over the years. You know, like, I've played this game, let me see. I have like 26,000 hours in this game. I don't really leave my game on overnight. I never really did too much. So most of all of these hours are active play hours over 8 years. I do have a lot of AFK, but most of these are active play hours. So over 26,000 hours of playing this game. Here's what I am at. And I've seen people catch up so fast. I've seen people go 30 to 750 gear score in, you know, a couple of months nowadays. So like that's good. I think people who play the game a lot should be able to catch up and get all the gear. But yeah, I just didn't expect the gear to get devalued so fast. And there's probably more things I can calculate. Like the Khan's heart used to be max price. The Garmoth's hearts, actually I think Garmoths are still sitting on order and are max price. So yeah, these are max price. Oh wow, people can actually buy these now. Like if you put an order on, and then you can actually get it without too much pain and suffering. That's good. Good for you. So yeah, Vel's heart should be increased. If I wanted to calculate more stuff, I could literally just look at all my crystals and everything and just see how much these have devalued over time. Like, for example, all these circle crystals, you know, remember when they were 5 bill at launch and that's when everyone bought them? Yeah, the gear inst here is literally half of that now. So, the fact that you can just buy these, ever since the Morning Light 2 came out, and you can actually get these from boss rewards doing like the hard mode difficulty, I believe. You can just straight up get these, which is kind of cool. So if I were to calculate all my crystals, I'm not going to do it, but if I were to just like look at it more or less, these used to be like 1 billion each. This was obviously 5 billion. Macalods were 2 bill each. These used to be more. And then obviously these are the new crystals that came out. And if we look at all like the PvP crystals and everything that I had, these were obviously more. Why are red spirits so expensive? I guess so. But yeah, like all these crystals, they went down in price over time. It just happens. So I don't really know the value. That would take too long to just look at everything. But remember when these are 5 billion and now they're 300 each, and purple crystals also 5 billion, now 200 each. I could probably take an estimate of all the crystals that I've gotten, and maybe we'll just add like another 30 billion. That's like a rough estimate. So yeah, over the past 6 months, I guess we can say, my gear has devalued over about 1 trillion silver, more or less, over that time, just because new content came out and everything. So ultimately, does it make me sad? A little bit, but it happens. It's not really a big deal. Am I still having fun with the game? Yeah, I'm having fun. You know what's not fun though? Failing 20 times on pen on like an actual decent stack as well. So eventually we're gonna save up for more crons and then obviously keep pushing. Once I get Hex for this one, I'm probably gonna switch back to my main hand, try to push that one to pen because I want the glow. And then after that, it's just pain and suffering going back for everything else. So yeah, that was a visual representation of gear like devaluing just over time, not even me doing anything to blow up or anything. And I guess if we look at more stuff, Tet Manos used to be 30 billion. I only had 3 pieces. I never really went too hard on life skill gear. But if we wanted to add another like 30 billion to that one, that's definitely over 1 trillion now. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing a visual representation of your gear just going on. You know that Stonks meme, but the reverse Stonks. So yeah, that's it. Hope that was interesting to actually calculate. And that said, if you enjoyed this video, drop a quick like. If you're new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. And I have some more guides and stuff I wanted to do in the near future, so come check those out when they release. And I will see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Peace!